justice and peace and equality. Now the world they will see.
Gang Change Magazine, Gang Change Media Network, Voices of the Village podcast. And I'm here today with one of our community leaders, the HW3 Foundation. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, sir.
Great. June is Men's Health Month.
That's right.
Men's Health Month. And I remember capturing your story last year.
That's right.
And we spoke about you overcoming prostate cancer. What is that journey like and where it led you to today? You know, what has that journey been for you?
Yes, sir. Starting in 2014, I had a bout with cancer, prostate cancer. And I was able to, have that, eradicated from my body. So it started off with my father having prostate cancer, my grandfather having prostate cancer, and my great-grandfather having prostate cancer. And they all passed away, and I'm the lone survivor. I'm only the lone survivor because I was able to watch my father. He educated me on when to get checked, how to get checked, and how often to get checked.
Right.
So it was more of a process of learning and getting checked early. That's the only reason I'm still here. And by the grace of God, my father educated me. And now my journey is to educate other men to get checked early.
Man, that's awesome. One of the stigmas in the African American community for African American men is that we don't go to the doctor. We don't get those pre-screening checkups. We don't, take the proactive measures to take care of our health, which is our number one priority to our family. How did that, was it the trauma that made you say, you know what, I'm going to be proactive?
Yeah, it was really my father. I started getting checked at age 25 in the military. In the military, you're running and gunning at 25.
Right.
Especially being in an environment where you're support and you're that criminal investigation detachment, and you're that special operations commander. So you're running and gunning, trying to make sure that you stay alive and your troops stay alive. So I wasn't really concerned about my health-wise. I was concerned about making sure I'm in shape, and I can make things happen when it comes to any mission that the military gives me. So it was more of me trying to educate myself growing up, and it took my father to really educate me and help me understand you have to get checked. At that time, 25, I didn't realize that it would be in my gene. I didn't realize it was in my gene. So thereby my dad knew, and he knew I was running and gunning. I was focused on mission as an officer and making sure I get my troops back home alive. So he held it off for a while until I was getting ready to come and see him. And he passed away before I touched down back in country. And but I understood his mission for me. Right. And that mission was to make sure I get the word out to men to get checked early.
So you're telling me at the age of 25, so this thing didn't pop up at 40, 35, 40. This thing, was starting to genetically, turn in your body at the age of 25.
At the age of 25, it was more of getting checked more often than just a year.
Okay.
Because it's in my genes, I had to get checked twice a year.
Okay.
Right. So it didn't really come into fruition into my body and detect it into my body until age 39.
Oh, wow.
Age 39.
Okay.
So, there's a comparison, but, doctors are saying, hey, this may be a concern when it comes to your prostate, which we call an enlarged prostate.
Okay.
So I had an enlarged prostate at age 39. So they started watching me, putting me under surveillance ever since age 39. And then they caught it. Yes, sir. They caught the cancer at age 45.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So it was mutating in my body throughout that time, and they caught it early because I was going to get checked twice a month.
Okay.
Once they caught it, it was more of biopsies, making sure that it was not too close to get out of my prostate into my lymph nodes and to other parts of my body.
Right, right.
So, I had, a cancer cell in two sides of my prostate, which is, the size of a walnut.
Right, right.
And I had a cancer cell in my apex 1 and an apex 2.
Okay.
Two apexes in your prostate. And thank God they were not leaking from outside of my prostate. So they had to take my entire prostate to ensure that the cancer did not leak out and go to other parts of my body. So I thank God for that, and I thank God for my mother, because she's the one that pushed me to keep getting checked after my father passed away.
Right, right.
So it was more of, my mom was my champion, and she still is.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So when it comes down to, you teaching other men, hey, go get checked, the value of getting checked. It's Men's Health Month. Diabetes runs rapid in the African American community.
That's right.
Prostate cancer is the number one,
That's right.
disease amongst African American men.
That's correct.
What is your stance? Because you've taken on several platforms, and I've followed you on social media, and you're an advocate.
That's right.
An advocate for men's health.
That's right.
So what has that meant to you moving forward in the direction that you're going?
Oh my God, man, that's a great question, because I'm passionate. That's the word. I'm passionate about ensuring that men get checked. You see, I'm starting with these young guys.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm making sure that they start to get checked, and thinking about health, staying healthy, eating right, exercising, having a good support team, our village. We grew up with a village.
Yes, sir.
So we're establishing a village for these kids to ensure that they understand health, and making sure they understand that, hey, you got to be a leader in your community. You got to have a good faith, follow your faith, whatever that faith may be.
Yes, sir.
You got to have good faith. Also, you got to have good doctors. You got to be able to go to your doctors, talk to your doctors plainly, right? Openly,
right,
and be honest with your doctors. So I encourage all men, age 25 and up, right? Get checked, because you have to be the champion of your own health. We
Yes.
have doctors, we have nurses, we have professionals that are taking care of us and taking care of our bodies, but we are the champions of our own bodies. So we have to make sure that we get checked and stay healthy, right? Diabetes, high blood pressure, prostate cancer.
Yes.
We as men, right, we have a lot of those that we have to monitor.
Yes.
And the medication, we have to monitor the medication.
Correct.
We need to get off the medication and do something that is safe for us to ensure that we're eating right and we're here on this earth longer than 72 years old.
Man, you're absolutely correct about that. I lost my father when he was 49 years old. We just celebrated Father's Day.
Right. Yep.
And and I've seen, some of the young men, they've lost their fathers, a little later, 70, some lost them earlier.
Right.
And the number one thing is, we all want to share that lineage of our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids,
right.
And in the value system that plays in taking care of your health. Now, I'm noticing also a trend, because when it comes to the military, and you're a war veteran as
That's
well.
right.
A lot of men in the military. It's a lot of men in the military who come back with certain diseases and things that's happening to their body. What is the United States doing about this and being proactive? Like, hey man, these men are going to other countries. They're fighting for our country, but yet they're suffering from like water from Camp Lejeune.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I mean, what does that look like moving forward?
But for us as military men, and the issue with all of the things that we've done in the military, and there's other things that we've done, in things that we've inhaled, and those kind of things. But the focus of the military, Veteran Affairs, VA, is to ensure that we get checked yearly.
Okay.
Now, you and I know anything can transpire within a year.
Yes.
So that's that part where we as veterans, if there's something wrong, we're feeling funny, we're looking funny, it's time to go and get checked. It's time to take it in. Now that's the part we as individuals need to work on.
Okay.
Because we don't want to go to the doctor. You know, we'll put some ice on it, put some heat on it, and we'll, you know, hopefully it'll go away.
Hopefully it'll go away.
Right, but by the time it doesn't go away, you know, now we're in a situation, hey, we may have something more serious, right? So, and that's me as well. You know, I'll put some ice on my knee and try to keep rocking with it until it's not fixed. Right. Then now I got to go in. I've been trying to put ice and heat on it for a week, and now it's something a little more serious. So,
it's definitely a little more serious.
So the answer to that is we have to take responsibility as veterans for our own health, because without them at VA, they can only do so much.
Correct.
They can only do so much. So we got to take responsibility. But now on the VA, they need to ensure that we have the quality service that we need when we go in there. Don't make us wait 10 hours just to get an appointment, or 10 days to get an appointment. So those are some things that VA needs to work on.
Or 10 years to get 100% benefit.
Absolutely.
Because I think if you fought in that war,
that's right,
or you served your country in any type of capacity,
that's right,
I mean, you should receive 100% benefit, health benefits.
Absolutely.
You know?
And there's a process there. There's a
is.
process that we have to go through and they have to go through.
Correct.
But, I'm totally on board with, making that process faster.
Correct.
Don't have veterans waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 years or 6 years
right,
to get their benefits.
Right.
And don't start them off at 30%. We all know we have bad feet, we have bad knees, we have bad ankles, everything that from toe to head, we have issues. Because we've been in the different elements.
Yes.
And been doing different things, and our knees, are not like they used to be when we was 19 years old. So when we first came into the military. So, that's that process that, the system, I call it the system, needs to ensure that, we have what we need as veterans and we get it on time.
Correct. Because I know just even going out of the country, to Jamaica, Cancun or something, my body feels weird just going 5 days.
That's
you
right.
know
That's
what I'm
correct.
saying? So,
That's correct.
You guys over there maybe a year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
absolutely.
that's a big adjustment, when it comes to body,
that's
body conditioning. We're going to go to a commercial break, Game Changers Magazine, and we're going to talk about this Empowerment Leadership Boot Camp, how you got there. Game Changers Media Network, Game Changers Magazine, Voices of the Village podcast. I got HW3 Foundation right here, and we're going to get into the great things they're doing in the community right here.
And equality.